Hi everyone, this is Core with minisgallery.com. This is a quick review of the D&D Icons of the Realms Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants core set, and also of the Death Giant Necromancer and the limited edition set, which were all part of this themed release. The core set consists of 42 miniatures, which were released on August 16th of 2023. To help keep this video quick, I will not be commenting on every mini. The editor cap seems a little too pink to me, and I sort of prefer some of the prior renditions of this mini, but really there's nothing wrong with this one. In these sets, you will often see some miniatures like the Tick and the Shrieker that got pretty quick paint applications, but typically these will offset some of the extra time spent painting some of the more rare miniatures. The three bugbears in this set are repainted minis from the Bugbear Warband set. I will also display comparison pictures of all these minis, and for all of these comparisons, the Warband minis will be on the left side and the minis from the set will be depicted on the right. I feel that the paint applications on these bugbears does seem quite a bit better than the Warband minis, and in particular, some of the Bugbear Warband minis had bright orange fur that really didn't seem consistent with the way the rest of the mini was painted. From a pure collector's point of view, I think it's nice to have unique names for the minis, so I was a little disappointed that all these minis just got the same generic Bugbear name instead of being preceded with Mauler, Skirmisher, or Carver. The three orc miniatures in this set are from the Orc Warband set. They were generally all painted with about the same quality as their counterparts in the Warband set, although Orc number 7 was perhaps painted a little better than in the Warband set, whereas the Orog in this core set appears a little better, perhaps because of the dark wash that was applied to it. All three of the orcs in this set were painted with a light blue skin color, which is an interesting deviation from the standard green-skinned orcs which are depicted in most artwork. Similar to the bugbears, I also wish that these orc minis were given unique names, as well as the following hobgoblin minis. The two hobgoblins in this set are from the Hobgoblin Warband set, and are the last of the miniatures in the set which are repainted miniatures from other D&D Icons of the Realms sets. The paint application on these two minis are generally on par with the minis from the Warband set. The lighting in my video does make the armor look a lot lighter than what it actually is. It is more of a darker gray color and doesn't really have the lilac color in it that my video seems to show. This is the first of many Goliaths in this set. There are a diverse amount of Goliaths in this set which offer a great range of class options for Goliath player character miniatures. The Bag Jelly is a new and unique miniature in this set, and the use of the translucent green plastic makes this a pretty decent looking mini. The Giant Lynx is a good sculpt with a satisfactory paint application. The eyes and black lines have all been stamped onto the face of this mini, which really gives it a nice overall appearance. But I know I am not alone in wishing that it was painted in a more traditional tan color. Perhaps this lynx was meant to depict an astral lynx, and if so, I wish the mini was named accordingly. The Elf Druid of the Primeval is a nice generic sculpt that could be used to represent many different classes of characters. This is a pretty basic paint application applied to the snake. However, thanks to the finely sculpted details of all the scales and the application of a dark wash, the overall appearance looks quite good. Now, this is just a pure fun looking miniature. I am uncertain how many Goliath chef adventurers carrying giant fork clubs that there are out there, but this is the mini for you if you are playing one. The female Goliath monk appears a little on the lean side for a Goliath, but it is a nice unique sculpt. I do like receiving the occasional animal miniature in these sets, and I do like that they included a giant badger in this D&D line of products. However, this sculpt looks more like a weasel to me than a badger. I think the sculpt and paint application of this mini greatly pales against Biter the Badger Animal Companion from the Pathfinder Battles Iconic Heroes box set number 2. There are also 2 dinosaurs included in this set, and I think the Dilophosaurus got a really good paint application with some nice use of color blending on the neck fringe. The Furbolg Primeval Warden is one of my favorite sculpts of this set, and I quite like the use of the transparent orange plastic for the fire and shield effects. This is one of the more unique Furbolg looking sculpts we've received, and I like the extra detail of the runic tattoo applied to the right arm. There were a lot of well sculpted details on this Goliath Giantkin Mini, and combined with the painted and stamped details, overall it's a great looking miniature. I really like the sculpted detail of this Fire Rune Goliath chain shirt, and the transparent orange plastic really gives a nice appearance to the flaming sword. This is also a really nice Goliath sculpt that received a good paint application and is another one of my favorite sculpts in the set. Although Bigby has traditionally been described and depicted as a human, somewhere along the fictional history of this character, his species was changed to a gnome. This is such an iconic figure from D&D, so I wish the sculpt had a few more finer details than what it does have. I also wish for this iconic figure that they would have stamped the book with some writing and an image depicting one of his infamous spells. This is another very unique sculpt and gives a nice option for those players wishing to play a half-orc or orc-blooded wizard character. I think this is a really great tiefling sculpt, and I think it received a pretty good paint application. All the giants are posed on a huge size 3-inch in diameter round base, or 75 millimeters for us metric users. This set actually contains no miniatures on large size bases. The Fire Gaunt is a great sculpt and a well-painted miniature, which includes a lot of extra details, such as the supernatural flames erupting from its wounds. The Fire Hellion is a nicely sculpted devil, and I really like how the armor has been highlighted and is all trimmed in gold. None of this trim work shows any sign of overpainting, so it makes me wonder if they are stamping on the trim color. Frostmourne is an impressive sculpt and has some nice uses of blending and shading to accent the muscle tone. I also quite like the effect they gave this mini with the use of the transparent blue plastic on the lower clothing. I really quite like this female hill giant mini. It is a nice sculpt, and the use of the transparent yellow plastic for the floating runes was really well done. There are a lot of nice fine details on this sculpt, which were also well painted. When I originally saw the rendered image for the Maw of Yinagu, it looked sort of cartoonish and silly to me. However, I was really surprised at the final result. They could have just put a coat of pink paint on this mini and called it done, but I feel that they applied a lot of extra paint steps, such as blending different hues of the flesh tone, to really give this mini a quality appearance. This spectral cloud is a very unique sculpt and gives a nice option for depicting a huge size incorporeal undead creature. There are a lot of sculpted designs and details in this stone giant's armor, which are accented well with the use of a dark wash. Although my camera's autofocus did not seem to like this mini, the sculpt and appearance is really good, and the wings worn on the back were nicely detailed. This Frost Giant Ice Shaper mini Has a lot of well-defined sculpted details all over and has a great imposing look to it. I do quite like the facial features they sculpted on this death giant, and I really appreciate all the great sculpted details which are featured on her armor. I think this is another great sculpt in this set, and this mini can pretty much represent any huge-sized zombie opponent. The Stone Giant Rock Speaker is another unique giant sculpt that was given a pretty good paint application. This is the final miniature of the core set. The Death Giant Necromancer is sold separately from the core set and was also released on August 16th of 2023. This is the first time I've seen WizKids sculpt a textile pattern on all worn clothing, and I appreciate this level of detail. The soles spiraling around her are cast in a translucent blue plastic, which also received some highlighting and dark washing. The limited edition box set was released on August 9th of 2023. However, it was also available for earlier purchase at Gen Con. The set features 5 miniatures from the core set, which were given a different paint scheme. These limited edition sets are becoming a new offering from WizKids as part of the core set pairings. The limited edition sets for the next 2 core releases will each contain a miniature that is exclusive to that limited edition set. There are a lot of mixed impressions that people have of this new format, but I would like to share some of my thoughts. Firstly, I do like getting repainted versions of miniatures, provided that they are a miniature that I want multiples of. So for this Glory of Giants set, I have to say that I am greatly confused as to why they included the Goliath Chef Mini. Seriously, how many Goliath Chef Minis do you need? Secondly, I am happy that they are adding exclusive minis to the limited edition sets, as I don't really see the purpose of these sets when they contain all the same minis that are already in the set. Previously, WizKids had released collector's edition sets that included both promotional miniatures and exclusive minis. This frustrated many collectors, as the general consensus was that the exclusive minis were being locked behind a very high-priced paywall. If these limited edition sets with an exclusive mini are intended to be a replacement for the collector's edition sets, then I certainly think that WizKids has made a good choice. And that's it. I do wish to thank WizKids for providing me with a copy of this set to review. Please like this video if you found it helpful, and please be sure to subscribe to see more of my quick reviews.